So we found this on the floor. Okay, I'm not gonna eat it.
Stop. David.
Do it.
Didn't you eat the last one too?
This one tastes funny.
Oh, I wonder.
That one had like a weird,
Maybe a little bit of a carpet taste to it.
did have a carpet taste to it, like it was eating pieces of carpet. Right, dang it, man.
Why do you keep doing
If I'm not here tomorrow, now you know. All right. Oh God, that was the worst one. Yeah, I ate one yesterday in my 7th period class, and that was the best tasting one. That one really was bad. Something was wrong about that, which makes me really nervous.
What do crickets eat?
Crickets eat, like you feed them, like if you got them in captivity, you literally feed them this stuff called flucker. You gotta say that really carefully.
Say it 5 times fast.
No, I will not. Flucker. In the wild, plants? I don't know. What do I eat in the wild? Plants?
You make me laugh so hard. I don't know why. You're such a funny person.
Thank you. That's very nice. All right, let me get your goggles.
I know. What does it do with that? I can't believe what I saw with my eye. Or what eye? My good eye. You know, it looks like a cricket. Oh, yeah. You know, like the weird kids that ain't bug me when they eat. That's you. Hey. You just trying to clear the bowl.
What? Yeah, you got
Do you want to know right now?
your step, granddaddy?
Do you want to know right
Yeah, tell me.
Her cousin, like super pumped. He wants to talk about it. He wants to do a Zoom so bad.
He does?
Yeah.
He's excited?
Yeah, he's really excited.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm excited. He loves playing.
Where is he living right now?
I don't know. You can, he wants you to reach out to him.
Huh?
He wants you to reach out.
I'll reach out to him, I promise.
Okay. So you have his number and everything.
You got me on.
Mine fits nicely. Or you can send it to him. And he also said he has more images for his messages. Maybe you can have him on your podcast.
There we go. You guys get the fancy. You get the fancy one.
David!
Yeah.
Listen to Caleb.
Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry. He said he has Mars
Yes. What? What?
Mars mission recorded session.
What the hell? This guy's great.
You should have him on my podcast.
All right. So, do you guys know how to use these things? All right. So you gotta take your phone out usually of the case, and then you gotta line it up with the mid. Like, I don't have one to even show you, okay, because all the rest are broken. Okay, so you gotta line it up like right in the middle, okay, of the thing, right, so that you're. But here's the deal, okay? So when you open up the link that I just sent you on the email, okay, and I'll just do this on my phone to show you. Let's see if I can go this way, sent. All right, so you open this up, and here's what happens, okay? So you've got to click, and I'll show you this at home, like if you ever do this. Hopefully this is gonna load up. I don't know why it's not loading for me. Oh, you gotta click the little glasses. Okay, that's the key. Okay, when you click the little glasses, then it divides up into 2 things. Y'all with me on this? Okay, right? So basically I'll play it up here, okay, for the sound. Okay, if anybody needs help, what's that? It's on Google Classroom and your email, like however it works best. Okay, and then like And then, and if you want to stand up, you can stand up. Okay. Like I think the VR stuff cracks me up because everybody, I think, instantly thought that it's going to be like, you're going to walk through doors and you're going to get this false sense of reality. I mean, like, this isn't an Oculus, right? These are, I did see a TikTok of a dude. I love these TikToks, like, show me that your boyfriend won't cheat on you without telling me that your boyfriend won't cheat on you. And it's always a guy in the basement playing video games, right? And this guy had like this thing standing up. Have you guys seen these? He had like a weapon, right? And he's like running, and then like he's got the gun. It's cool, right? But he's like got this like waistband around himself. Y'all with me on this? Have you seen this thing? It's like really cool. This is not what we're doing, right? This is a cardboard thing. We're not hooking ourselves up to any sort of like thing. Okay, so you got to put it on the side. But if you want to stand up, because it is cool, but this is Chernobyl. Okay, so a lot of people don't realize, you know, they're like, Chernobyl, what is it? Okay, so
there has been a nuclear accident in the Soviet Union, and the Soviets have admitted that it happened.
Play this.
One of the atomic reactors at the Chernobyl atomic power plant in the city of
you got to open up in the YouTube app. You got to have the YouTube app. You got to click on the glasses so I can help you out. Get my new self. Okay. All right. No, no.
1,000 square mile area surrounding the reactor uninhabited. The exclusion zone. These are the remnants of Pripyat, Ukraine. The city closest to Pakistan. Once went to 50,000.
Yeah, restart it.
Deserted now.
Yeah. All right. Some of you are missing a little piece that will that is like this that will help like kind of keep the phone like most. It's cool. Like you can tilt it down like that, but if you want this piece, then it's too bad.
I'm a bad little bitty.
It's a little easier. All righty then. Okay, let me know when to start.
I already started.
That's okay. You can start.
I don't have my sound on there.
It's all right. Here's the deal. When I first started teaching this, I knew about Chernobyl. I mean, I lived through Chernobyl. Okay. I was a freshman in high school. Okay. You know, like times were different then. You know, we didn't have the interwebs. And like you see these news stories, you hear immediate death, you hear thousands of people dying. Your responses and your questions were interesting about Chernobyl. Okay. You know, there's rumors 31 people died. Then I heard 10 people died. Like what? How many people exactly died, and how many are going to die? Okay, we'll talk about that. I'm just going to press play from now. If you're in this spot, you're in the spot. No. Okay, but Chernobyl nuclear accident. Okay, we had two biggies in the world. Chernobyl, of course, was the biggest. 3 Mile Island was the second. That was in the United States and Pennsylvania. Okay, both of these things were human error. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, Fukushima. Yeah, human error as well, right? Okay, so yeah, there's our third one. Okay, and David helped build Fukushima. We'll have to talk to him about that. It's not his fault. He wasn't there. Tsunami. Okay, so earthquake in the ocean, big waves, crash boom. Okay, bad. Okay. So what you're looking at right now, and if you recall, we visited Chernobyl once before in this class. When did we visit Chernobyl? Yeah, David Attenborough's movie, right? He was there in Chernobyl. And people are like, David, you're crazy. He's like, I'm literally going to die in a few years, okay? The radiation from Chernobyl is not going to kill me. I'm 90 something. There we go. Okay, so here's the deal. What's killing people in Chernobyl is not the explosion. You don't walk into Chernobyl, okay, and be like, oh, you melt, you turn green, you eat like food there and you start glowing, right? Remember radiation, think Rosalind Franklin and x-rays. How do you die from radiation? Cancer, right? What kind of cancer are these people getting? Thyroid. Okay, so I'll play this, then I'll talk about it. Yeah, I'm at 1:31 for 8 minutes.
At the time of the accident, Alexander Sirota was 9 years old.
The morning of April 26, 1986 started out for me and my friends by going to school. Back then, we had classes 6 days a week in this building. It was school number 1 of Pripyat. First, we had sirens. Medical department number 126 was just behind those trees, only 200 meters from here. We felt like we were on some sort of adventure. After our second class, the next teacher didn't show up. So my best friend and I just ran away from school because we wanted to find out what was going on. Here at Medical Department 126, the municipal hospital, there were many ambulances that we heard from our classroom. They brought the first injured here. My friend and I ran up and started to ask questions. Most of them refused to say anything, but finally, one said that there was a fire at the plant. The train from Moscow passed right under here. This is exactly where my friend and I ran to after the conversation at the medical department. We couldn't see anything special from this point, just a bit of smoke, no fire, but we saw helicopters passing over our heads toward the city from the power plant.
Alexander says he went home to his apartment complex to wait for his mother.
Did you look up? Don't forget to look up.
This is where I lived with my mom.
Yeah, yeah, man. What are you doing? You gotta get on
Prepared
this
for a temporary evacuation because something happened at the power plant. Take everything that you need, take your passports and food for 3 or 4 days. They forced everyone outside. Later, I found out about the level of radiation here. We didn't know that we were leaving the city forever.
Pripyat was founded in 1970, a Soviet-planned community mainly for Chernobyl's workers and their families.
I learned to swim here. I love this place.
So I watched the whole video and it brought me up to this next on your YouTube channel.
This was my favorite place in the city.
It was called the Palace of Culture. Once, it was a community hub. Now, the city is closed to visitors, except people on government-sanctioned tours like this one at Pripyat's amusement park. Each year, as many as 10,000 tourists visit the area.
Wait, is there artwork in this? Was that already video?
You click the link, there's physically no way.
Alexander is one of the official guides to Pripyat and also to Chernobyl, which is a 10-minute drive from the city.
Yes, okay, good. I was like, there is no way, like.
On the right, you can see the construction of a metal roof. This is known as the sarcophagus, to be put over the destroyed remains of the fourth reactor. There is radiation all around you. Here we can see that the level of gamma background radiation on the platform jumps to 3 microsieverts per hour, 10 times higher than the safety limit. The closer you get to the object, the higher the background radiation is.
Chernobyl's nuclear reactors are no longer in operation, but workers are bussed to the site daily to build the new radiation confinement shelter. To limit exposure, they are only allowed to work in 2-week rotations. Everyone is scanned for radiation levels at a series of checkpoints. Food is shipped in from the outside to this cafeteria, where the workers sometimes mingle with Alexander and the curiosity seekers he brings. Despite the risks, Alexander says it's important for people to see Chernobyl. He continues to return to the exclusion zone.
Music's purposefully a little creepy, right? Okay, so man, I look, I've gone through actually like tons of these different VR things for Chernobyl. That's my favorite one for a couple different reasons. I'm like, look, I don't want to argue with you, but like, there's literally no way. You can see. Okay, I'll take your things back. Yeah. Well, I'm glad we figured it out because you were pretty adamant that no, I watched it. I swear.
I was. It took me to your next like YouTube video. I was like, I watched it, I swear, but then I realized I was not watching the right thing.
You're right.
I was watching something about art and good.
About what?
Like paint, like where they're like talking about my paint.
So that's something completely
I know.
not even
Now I
like.
know what we're talking about. Why I thought it so right.
That's awesome. All right, cool. All right, so I think a lot of the misnomer about Chernobyl is that like there was this explosion, you know, we watched too many movies, there was this like giant fallout, and next thing you know, like everyone in the town like blew up. Okay, and like I mean, I'll be real honest, when I first started looking at this stuff, like I thought the town like falling apart was literally from the blast. That's not from the
Right,
blast,
is that when the
right?
looks so dead?
The town looks so dead because everybody left. Okay,
Oh.
so when you like, so now people.
Hey, you forgot to pick mine up.
I'm calling. Yeah, but that's what I thought. Like, I seriously like other people. So it's literally the people left, and so as the people left, here's what happened, right? The people left. This is this. Still stuff. And so starting to do research. Like, here's what happens when a complete community like leaves, right? Okay, there are certain animals that thrive. There are certain animals that die. There's, you know, and some people, there's starting to be some people are like, screw it, I'm moving back to this area. Okay, I don't care if I get cancer or not. Okay.
Wait,
This-
there actually is people living there?
people are living there, yeah, and they're. I don't know how it works though, as far as like, are like some people, like, how do they get their food? Like, I don't know, man. It's really, really
What's the
interesting.
nearest town? I mean, would that be correct?
Well, let's look here. I got a map. Let's go.
So it's sort of like the ground just like can't grow anything basically.
So the ground, well, the ground can grow stuff. Yeah.
It's just radioactive.
Yeah. That's the problem.
That's
Well,
kind of-
but like the same thing. Radioactive. I mean, you might as well just eat it, right?
There's like, you know, like, it's just, unfortunately,
You can't get it to go away. There's no way to neutralize
I mean, yeah, time.
it.
I mean, it's gonna go down, but like, it's gonna be a really long time.
You can't like just like dump calcium on it or something.
I kind of wish, man. That'd be cool.
Well, I know, like, no, obviously calcium, but there's nothing you can.
I mean, I don't know. If you want to look some stuff up, that'd be and see if there's. I don't know. Do you know? And you're into this. Do you know? Like anything? Like how do you get rid of that much radiation?
You have to.
Because your nuclear energy is made from uranium, right?
There's
Yeah.
not really a way for us right now to like capture radiation or like
Neutralizing.
Somebody bring out a shotgun.
What's that, dude?
Neutralizing all the mandate probably like not molecular, but like atomically changing every radioactive atom forcefully rather than waiting for it to happen. Which we can't do.
Yeah.
That's like Dyson storm level tech.
Or we can just haul in tons of dirt and cover it.
That wouldn't work. That would just back up.
Well, it's bury the whole. I
Just
just,
bury
but
the
still,
whole
like,
thing.
yeah, you're still gonna like that. I mean, like, think about it. Like everything's radioactive, right? You know, like if we have that Geiger counter, depending on the sensitivity, we're radioactive. Like, you know, rocks are radioactive. Some people even say, like, right now, like if you have a granite tabletop, okay, I mean that thing's radioactive, right? It's a breakdown over
So-
time of that. Yeah,
So if I eat enough stuff that is radioactive, I will become radioactive.
I mean you already are radioactive to a degree, right?
Like,
Maybe if you just condition yourself, you can.
And again, I'm not an expert on radioactivity, so chime in, my physics people here. But you know, like it's we'll get Dave in there too. All right, let's look at nuclear energy. Okay, that idea. Okay, so how do we get things going? We're gonna strike that. In this case, uranium-235, right? And we're gonna split it. It's all about splitting that atom. Nuclear fission rather than nuclear fusion. Yeah.
That guy, just like, I forget what his name, that invented like the atomic bomb and all this. You think he just like everyone before he died, just was like, man, I really. You know,
So like somebody's going to do it at some point, but like, yeah, all those guys that worked on the Manhattan Project, I think there was some regret. I mean, I don't know. I know Morris Wilkins worked on it. Morris Wilkins is the same guy that worked with Rosalind Franklin to discover the whole thing, the whole structure of DNA. And he felt bad about that. He really did. So, but I don't know the history about everyone else who helped
like,
create
if
the
they could
atomic.
just see what has happened now, they'd probably be like, crap, what did we do?
they'd have one of those
Somebody's
little
gonna do
plants.
it though, right? Like, you
Yeah,
know,
it
like, I mean,
happens.
like, it's inevitable. But yeah, what do you do with it? Okay, so nuclear reactors are genius. Like, I really think they're genius. Unfortunately, you know, they're dangerous. You know, you can also create bombs out of them. Or if you have plutonium and a Mr. Fusion, you can go back in time. It's all up to what you want to do with that. You need that 1.21 gigawatts of electricity, right? And we'll get into all that later. Okay, but here's this containment structure. okay, and most of you got this right. It's all about creating steam that's going to turn a turbine that's going to generate electricity, right? Okay, so once again, doesn't matter if it's coal, okay, doesn't matter if it's uranium, okay, that you're going to do, you're going to turn a turbine.
Source, we are heating something up to make steam to turn.
Yep. I mean, if you think about it, pretty much like everything except for like solar, really.
And windmills,
Wind is still turn a turbine, right?
yes, but it's not steam.
Yeah, it's not steam.
Like even a water plant or like when it uses like hydroelectric, does it make steam or is it just like the actual water?
That the water's turning that turbine. Yep. So turbines are the key. We need the water. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about what it actually looks like. And it is, by the way, like for a while after I created this lecture, I was like watching my back because I was pretty sure the FBI was going to like contact me because everything that I was searching, like plans for a nuclear reactor, like fuel rods, size of fuel rods, where to get uranium. I was like, oh shit, what am I doing? Okay, but like literally, okay, like so it's hard to find this stuff on the interwebs. Okay, but the whole idea
It is going. Put it out there.
right. So the whole idea is that you've got these tubes, and these tubes have these fuel rods in them, and those fuel rods, okay, are in this cylindrical device that we can lower and raise. Okay, so the idea here, these control rods are lowering and raising this in the water to heat this water. Okay, so here's this little nug. Okay, so I like to think of this as, and I usually have an example. Who's got, man, does anybody have like one of those pencils that is a mechanical pencil, and you got the tiny little, yeah, can you pull your eraser out of the top of that? Can I touch it? Is that cool? I can. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so this little thing right here essentially is the nugget of uranium. Okay, so we put the uranium into this little guy right here like this, and this is the radioactive material.
And
Okay,
how long can it last?
this is it. Okay, but okay, so what do we do with this sort of thing, right? Okay, like how do I just put this in the water and it just blows up? Okay, so we got to put those guys into these things. This picture was really hard to find. Okay, here you go. Okay, so here's my pellet that I just held up for you. Okay, and that pellet goes into this tube. Okay, and those tubes then go into this thing, right? And then we put a bunch of those guys together. Okay, so here's this fuel rod. Okay, and so this fuel rod goes into this thing, and then boom. Okay, it reminds me a lot of, if you took anatomy, the structure of a muscle. Do you remember my Twizzlers, right? So we got the big garbage sack, right? And I pull out a Dollar General sack, right? And inside that sack, I've got a bunch of packages of Twizzlers. Inside there, I got the actual Twizzler. Okay, I'm talking about the rope Twizzlers that you pull apart, right? Okay, yep. Okay, so that's very similar to this. We got this pellet that goes into a rod, but we bundle those rods together into an assembly. Okay, y'all with me on this? Can y'all kind of picture this? Okay, so this is what this looks like. Yeah, right. Okay, highly radioactive.
Yeah, is that,
Okay.
That was kind of like
That, oh man, that's funny. All right, and then we put all of those together inside this structure. Okay, right. So this right here, okay, is this right in here. Okay, you all with me on that?
it's pretty big, huh?
Okay, I know. Yeah, like it's big. Like I mean, like that thing is bound together in this thing, right?
So that thing is just a bunch of the other things all put
Yeah.
together?
So this thing is a bunch of these things that are put together with a bunch of these things that are put a bunch of these things together. Oh, I should get this. This just came. Okay, when I first started doing this class, I totally forgot about this until like this stuff. I don't know. This is how my brain works. all right, this is so dumb. And be glad that you didn't take this class like 20 years ago. What year was this? 2007, 2008. So I guess not that long ago. I think this is the last one. So what I used to do was I created this booklet, okay? And I had like church notes. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to a church that like, they like put blanks and stuff and then you follow along. So this is what I did. I gave church notes for apes, okay? And this is even a different book that we used to use back in the day before Friedland came around. But there's one thing that I really liked. Let's see if I can find this. The way they worded this. Okay, where am I at here? Okay. Where's my energy? Oh man. And I put all this together. Z's got this thing. I don't know if he still has it, but like one of these little binder makers. So it's like this machine that like cuts all these holes. So I would print these off and then it would take me like a week to like put these together. I'd come in here in the summer. It was kind of like oddly satisfying, but let me find this thing because the way they worded this is really great. What's that? What?
Is it really great or just great?
Well, for me, I like it. All right, so here's conventional energy. Okay, here we go. All right, so most let's see, they're formed in the pellets. Okay, they're stacked in hollow rods, and the rods are about 4 meters long. There are 100 rods bundled together to make an assembly, and thousands of assembly make the reactor core. Okay.
Why didn't it come up with a genius plan? Let's just combine all the rods together in one pipe. Throw a bunch of rods.
So y'all with me on that? 1.5 centimeter pellets they're put in rods that are 4 meters long. Those 100 rods are built together to put the assembly, and then that core. Okay, so this is the assembly. This is the assembly. This is where the core is. Okay, y'all with me on this? But it's like a muscle. This would be my trash bag, right? This would be my Dollar General bag, right? This would be my Twizzler bag. This would be my Twizzlers, right? Okay, cool. I need to put a picture of that. Here's another picture of what that looks like and where we can put those rods into this kind of thing.
So some guys are wearing protection, some guys are. Like that guy holding that pellet. Not really pellet, is that not very real?
I don't think it's a real thing. I don't know where I found that picture, but like there's no way. Like that would be like really. So like we'll get to this later, but there's high level waste and low level waste. And high level waste is the spent fuel. Low level waste is all the clothes. So literally the most efficient industry as far as like for waste is the nuclear industry. They have if you work at a nuclear power plant, you can't wear the same, like you can't wear your clothes home. Like you have to like go in, you have to change, like all that stuff is radioactive. Literally everything, all of the waste is taken care of inside the facility. And I'm not sure how they do all that stuff.
Like trying to bury waste in a mountain.
We'll get to that. And it's actually the safest, most genius way, but like thanks to sticking Harry, oh God, what's Harry's last name? We'll just call him Balls for now. He didn't let out. We'll get into the politics of that later. Here's where we get our uranium reserves now. Okay, notice we don't got nuns really here. Okay. And also we're looking at thorium now too. Some say thorium is like the new way to get to do.
Texas has everything.
Well, that's why it wants to be its own. Also, if I were to put color onto this map with my national parks and my different lands.
It'll be right there.
Yeah. What color though? Do you remember?
Green.
It was all yellow and it wasn't national park land. What was it?
Indian Reservation.
I'm looking for 3 letters. BLM, right? Bureau of Land Management. Remember Ed Abbey called that the Bureau of Livestock and Mines, not Bureau of Land Management. Why livestock and mine? Because this is where you put your cattle out to graze, or that's where you mine for uranium. Okay.
It's really conveniently like right where some of our
Yeah, right.
We're trying to preserve, no big deal.
So here's that fission, right? So I got a neutron, here's uranium-235, things start bouncing around and boom, voila, I've got energy, okay, right? And we'll talk about half-lives later. You guys might know Michael Faraday. Any Lost fans out there? Okay, so the TV show Lost used a lot of philosophers, and they also used a lot of physicists as names for characters of the show, right? Okay, but this guy was the guy that really built the first electromagnetic generator, the Faraday disc, using copper and a magnet. Pretty cool. Here, of course, is just another video. And by the way, some of you got some really great GIFs. And I like, are you GIF or GIF? Is it GIF? Is it GIF? GIF? GIF. Okay, and I found this a long time ago, and if you couldn't find those, Wikipedia was actually the genius place to find those GIFs. Okay, but I liked them because it really showed, if you watched them, right, like it showed like that core going down, and then it showed it moving to the steam, and then eventually it would light up, right? This is the grid, this is the infrastructure, this is what makes, you know, our power happen. But of course, we're not nuclear here, we're all coal, okay? But this is that containment building. Notice the cooling tower looks a lot like the one I showed you for the NIPSCO plant. That's why a lot of people instantly think that's a nuclear power plant. Oh, what the hell? Okay, see you guys. Have a great day. I'll contact David, I promise. Bye. That freaks me out.
Yo, Mr. Burnworth.
Yeah, man.
Like, I don't know if I'll be able to, like, to ever take this test, my guy.
I know, man.